My name is Nigel Fielding and I'm a volunteer at Community Solutions. I had a mainly happy childhood. My mum was an absolute diamond and still is. Whilst I wouldn't say I enjoyed being at school, I knew I had to be there, so I did the best that I could. Absolutely loved music, always have done. I idolised somebody called Gary Newman, so to the point of obsession and just going to see him whenever possible. Yeah, I got a real joy from that. I mean, I left school as soon as I could because that's what I wanted to do. My teachers wanted me to carry on and go to college and university, but I had had enough. It wasn't an easy time. I had a fantastic English teacher. I did the debating competition, which we won, and for somebody like me to stand up and actually debate was massive, but through the encouragement of my English teacher, I did it. I didn't want that kind of conformity anymore, so I decided I'd go out into the big wide world. I'd been advised by my careers teacher at the time because the chances of getting in as a cadet at 16 were very, very remote, to go out and get a trade till I was maybe 21 and then apply then, and then I had something to fall back on, which good advice. A couple of my friends were printers and the money was good and things like that, so I thought I'll be a printer. I went to the job centre and there was this job for porters, so I went and applied for it and had a chat with what became my boss, part mentor. £25 a week, first wage. Which, to the credit, after a couple of months he took me off it and gave me a better wage. I grew to love it, even though I was still painfully shy. I took it on myself to try and find out as much as I could about everything in the shop as quickly as possible, because that would give me the confidence to be able to look people in the eye and talk to them about the subjects, because that's what it was about. And so I went on a couple of courses, but mainly I stood around dusting shelves within earshot of the other staff or my boss and listened. I got to know my subject, and so by doing that it then became sort of my domain. So then that turned into a journey from being 16 to being made assistant manager a few years after that. And then the manager left, so I became manager. Then a few years after that, sat me down and offered me a partnership, which I took with both hands. I felt that my hard work had paid off. And then he decided to retire a few years after that and made me a very, very good offer, which I took. And so it became my business. So things became very difficult towards the end of losing the business. I tried 110% more, putting effort in to try and make it work. I had people to support. I had staff's livelihoods to think about. I tried desperately to keep them in work for as long as I could. My mum had been diagnosed with dementia. I was trying to look after her. I was trying to keep the business going. I no longer wanted to be here. I didn't want to face these people, didn't want to let them down. I'd also been taking painkillers in ever increasing amounts. And so then I got up early on the Monday morning, packed a few things. I was going to go to a place in Scotland that I thought might help. So I got on a train to Lockerbie. I bought a bottle of brandy and some more tablets. I just wanted somebody to notice and help, and nobody reached out to me, so I then drank the whole bottle of brandy and laughed and took the tablets. I made it back to my flat. Police were there and I told them what I've done, and they rushed me to hospital and did what they needed to do to save me. Realised that I can't have these thoughts of wanting to end my life. It's not healthy, it's not good. And so whilst talking to this guy who I came to know as Peter. We had a conversation about music. I'd have my headphones on and I'd watch music documentaries. And so I spoke to Peter about music. I had a song in my head called A Bridge to Better Days by Joe Bonamassa. There's kind of a riff in there and it goes, he sings, better days are coming now, better days are coming. And so I sang this to Peter, and the morning after we came for breakfast, came out of our rooms, and he walked through the door and sang better days are coming. We were strumming the air guitar, you know. I realised in this blackness and darkness and in between the medication changes and things like that, that I had to do something with my life. I used to bend over backwards just to help people. So then I realised, well, perhaps that's what I should do. I was put in touch with someone, a mentor from Lancashire Mind, who started to help me, asking me what I needed to do, what I wanted to do. She put me in touch with Lancashire Women, which surprised me, but I then received the therapy that I so desperately needed, and it was, again, one of the best things that happened to me. But she also mentioned volunteering, and I said, well, yeah, it's something that's been there. But a few years previously, someone from Community Solutions had asked if I'd consider volunteering. And I said I'd love to, but I've just got too many things on. And I had seen this when I was running the business, that I could perhaps ease back a little bit, but also then do something for others, you know. So Bryony from Lancashire Mind said, right, well, let's go to Community Solutions then. And so I came. And that's another thing that's been absolutely wonderful in rebuilding my confidence. I hadn't written a CV in my life. And so Mark helped me with, not just the CV, but talking to me, encouraging me, as well as other people here. It was wonderful. And everybody that was here was wonderful, and that's still the case. It's all smiles at Community Solutions. It's just a wonderful, loving, caring atmosphere. What a difference being here at Community Solutions makes. I could have stayed on benefits for a bit longer, but I know now's the time to work again. I just want to help look after people. And that's why the voluntary work for Community Solutions is so important in my life. To the best of my ability, my working life will be built around trying to fit doing something for Community Solutions into it, wherever possible, because being here helps me. This is what people perhaps sometimes don't see or understand, is that you get so much out of life from helping other people.